everybody. Welcome to Live at 5. I'm Beth Stevens.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And we're here with the one and only Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
Oh, she's so ready for her
She
close-up.
was.
What's going on? We have a fabulous guest today.
Yes, we have Heidi Blickenstaff here with us today.
Woo-hoo.
Very excited
She's
to chat
a
with
movie
her.
star now.
She's a movie star.
She's in
She
Freaky
belongs
Friday.
to the stage and the screen. Look
So
at
we
that.
will talk to her in a minute, but first, our top 5.
We got some casting news about an exciting upcoming play.
Yes, Alexi K. Campbell's Apologia is headed to the Laura Pels Theater this fall. And joining Stockard Channing, Tony and Emmy winner Stockard Channing,
Obviously.
in that play is Hugh Dancy, who we all love. Yes, do you ever watch Hannibal on NBC?
No, but he's dreamy.
I loved him on it. He is dreamy.
He's very
So
nice
he
to
is
look at.
joining, yes, he's joining the cast of this play, directed by Daniel Auken. And it follows a former 60s radical and political protester who is now a celebrated art historian
I
who
wonder who's
decides
playing
to
that part.
write her memoirs, and it threatens to split her family apart. Sounds
Wow.
interesting,
Look
right?
at you
Look at
memorizing the
that.
plot.
Wow,
That's my
literally.
job. And this will be starting September 27th at the Laura Pels Theater, officially opening on October 16th. Can't wait.
And a new opera ghost is going to be haunting in London.
It's always exciting when there's a new Phantom, and there is a new Phantom in London. Not here, in
Across
London.
the-
It's Tim Hauer, who you know if you know anything about musical theater, because he's done so much. Also, he was the frontman for Mike and the Mechanics,
That's right.
just going back a little bit.
Going back.
But he was most recently in Chess, but he was in Rock of Ages and Rent, and he's taking over for Ben Lewis, who of course also starred in Love Never Dies, doing all the Phantom roles available. This is at Her Majesty's Theater because we're in the fancy West End, and Tim Hauer begins on September 3rd. So if you need to go
Yeah.
see Phantom in London,
Take a jaunt. Yeah.
yeah.
And a new Candyman is heading out across the country.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is hitting the road this fall, specifically on September 21st, launching in Buffalo, New York. And Noah Weisberg, who you might know from the Broadway productions of Legally Blonde, South Pacific, Elf, he will be playing the Candyman himself, Willy Wonka.
Is he going to shave his head like Christian
I don't
Borle?
know if he's
This
going
is all
to
I
shave
care
his
about.
head. Yes.
This is all I want to know.
Obviously,
He has
Kristen
very
Borle-
curly
yeah.
hair.
Who knows? Who knows?
I just
TBD.
asked the important question.
Look at that. And a few Charlie Buckets have also been announced as well. 3 young actors will be sharing the role of Charlie: Henry Beauchart, Colin Jeffrey, and Ruby Wood. Additional casting, all of those other people that come to the Chocolate Factory and cause mayhem, will be announced at a later date.
Exciting.
And a hilarious play just got extended off Broadway.
We're talking about Renee Taylor's My Life on a Diet.
Oh,
What a
she's
great title.
hilarious.
It
She's
is.
hilarious. She wrote this with her late husband, Joseph Bologna. And you might know her from The Nanny. You know her from The
Absolutely,
Nanny.
yes.
You do
know
her,
her
Yeah.
from The Nanny. She was Nanny Fine's mom. This is at Theater St. Clements, and it was going to end on August 19th, and it will now end on September 2nd.
Congratulations.
And one of our favorite Broadway couples is doing a fun, cute little show together.
Yes, Pretty Woman co-stars Andy Carl and Orphe. I saw it last night. So good, so fun. They are Broadway sweethearts, of course, and they are also proud dog lovers.
Oh, yes.
They are joining the They will pay tribute to the Humane Society in their Best in Show cabaret. They are joining a slew of Broadway stars: Anna Gasteyer, Sierra Boggess,
Wow.
Anna Cantor, Lindsay Mendez, Brett Oscar, Hugh Pinero, Christine Petty, Kate Rockwell, Douglas Sills, Betsy Wolfe, and Karen Ziemba are just a few of the people that are participating in this. It'll happen at Feinstein's 54 Below on October 15th at 7 p.m. And it will also feature SiriusXM radio host and Broadway vet Seth Rudetsky.
Will there be
who is
animals, though?
receiving hopefully there will be animals.
I mean, tell me more about Seth, but I want to hear about the
he
animals.
is receiving the Humane Society of New York's Sandy Award in recognition of his concern and support of the needs of rescued animals.
I thought you were
It's
going to say
amazing.
his concern and support
I
of Annie
rescued
the
a
musical.
couple of animals, 2 kitties.
Aww.
Look at that.
Do they
So,
have
where's
musical?
my award?
Do they have musical, do they have musical theater names?
No, their
Then
names
we don't
are
want to- we
Noodles
don't-
and Biscuits.
No, that's not what
No,
we were looking for.
they're the carb kitties. But that's enough about me. This is Heidi Blickenstaff's day.
That's right. So
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so
for
much
your
for
service,
having me.
Ryan.
You know, it was my pleasure.
Caitlin, will you tell us a little bit about Miss Blickenstaff?
Of course. Guys, we have Heidi Blickenstaff in the studio with us today. She is currently starring in Disney's Freaky Friday, the new movie musical that is actually going to be premiering on Disney Channel on August 10th. Her previous Broadway credits include Something Rotten, The Addams Family, Title of Show, The Little Mermaid, The Full Monty. She's done literally everything. She is also a Broadway.com Audience Choice Award winner and a former vlogger. So we love her, and she's here with us, and we're super excited. Be sure to follow her on Twitter at HBlicks with an X and on Instagram at Heidi Blick. She's got all the goods over there. Leave all your questions for her in the comments down below so we can get to them later. Everyone, please welcome Beth and Heidi.
Yay!
Yes!
Hi, Heidi.
I'm so excited to be
We
here.
love that you're here.
Oh, me too.
I can't wait to see Freaky Friday. I'm excited.
It's an amazing experience. I've never made a movie before, and the first time I saw it, I've seen it now 3 times.
Wow.
And the first time I saw it, I absolutely was nauseous, not because the movie was bad, but just because seeing
That's a good
yourself
thing.
that big was incredibly shocking for me. And now we just had our premiere a couple of nights ago,
Yes,
and
we have
I
some
just
pictures on Broadway.com.
cried the entire time, and I was so proud. And the movie, I
And
think
so
it's
many
pretty
Broadway
great.
people in the house with you on that night.
It was really pretty astounding. I mean, Disney Channel has been so good to me and basically said, invite whoever you want. And
You were like, come on, Broadway, let's go
I
see a
know.
movie.
And so I invited all my friends, and they all came out, and the Beacon Theater was filled with friends and colleagues and people that I have admired for years and years. And, you know, the red carpet, it was a pink carpet, actually.
Oh,
It
of
was
course.
filled with just like one amazing Broadway pal after the next. And I truly was very, very emotional being a part of that all. And we all watched the movie together. And I was sitting next to my husband, and I was literally shaking because it was so visceral. Like,
Yeah.
to be at the Beacon with, you know, my family and friends and colleagues, and to watch my big old face on that
please.
screen. Because we're not used to that
No.
as theater peeps.
You never see yourself.
Never. I mean, you
You
only
can see your
really...
understudy maybe if you want to
Yeah,
step in.
yeah. I've had some fine ones and have understudied a lot myself. But, you know, as a theater actor, you really only see your performance in pictures and in little
Right.
clips here and there. But you never, like, see it on screen. And so seeing that was wild with
And
all
this has
of my
been a
pals.
long road for you. You've been with Freaky Friday for a long time.
Yeah.
Tell me about the beginning of it for you.
Well, the very beginning was
And this is a musical, you guys. This
Yeah.
isn't freaky. This isn't your mother's Freaky Friday.
Yes.
There's been a lot of Freaky Fridays. This one sings. This is a Tom Kitt, Brian Yorkie musical.
Yeah, we hope it's going to be your mother's Freaky Friday too.
Yes.
We're hoping it gets
It
to
could be
mothers,
your mother's
daughters, brothers,
Grandma,
aunts, uncles,
cousins, yes.
everybody, neighbors. But I originally did a reading of Freaky Friday years and years and years ago when Disney Theatrical was first kind of entertaining the idea of doing it, and it's back when Mary Rogers was still alive, who wrote
So this
the
is based on
original
her novel, yeah.
yeah, from 1972.
Old school.
And we did a table read. It was very like first passy, and that was an amazing experience meeting Mary because she
yeah.
was such a pistol. I remember even then, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to meet her because now, with where we are now, I'm like, oh my gosh!
That's
and I
so
actually
meaningful. I love
know.
that.
I got to meet her, and she was very close with Bridget Carpenter, our book writer, who became our screenwriter.
Right.
Who's a genius. And I really do think Mary would be very, very proud. But we worked on it as a theatrical piece, starting kind of more seriously about a year and a half ago. And Disney Theatricals was trying to figure out what they wanted to do with it. And we first started at the Signature Theater in Arlington, Virginia. And it was an amazing experience. I loved every second of it. And my co-star, Emma Hunton, played my daughter/mother then, and she is absolutely wonderful. If you've ever been fortunate enough to see Emma on stage, she will blow your mind. That voice is something else. And then we went to the La Jolla Playhouse, and when we were at La Jolla, Disney Channel came from Burbank to watch it, and they said, I think we want to make that a movie. And that was exactly the moment that I knew I would not be playing my part anymore.
Who did you think what did you think would happen?
Terry Hatcher would play it. I don't know, just some famous
Some
television
TV
actress.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we know, like in the theater, I think it's a really rare occurrence for the theatrical originator
Right.
to continue with it.
to say, okay, Meryl, go ahead. That's what always happens, right?
That would be fine with me if Meryl wanted to do any of that. But I really did. I had kind of peace with it. All of us did, that it was just going to be, handed over to a very wonderful Disney Channel who was going to cast television people. But for some miraculous reason,
Talent.
I stayed with it.
Charisma.
But it's so funny.
Humor.
The other night at the premiere, there was this overwhelming feeling from my peers and colleagues that it's like they all knew. Tom Schumacher even made a speech and said it. Like, it doesn't
The head
happen.
of Disney Theatrical.
Yes, the head of
I'm
Disney
just filling
Theatrical.
you
No, it's good. Sorry, I'm moving fast. But it's like it's a very rare occurrence. So like kudos to Gary Marsh and Disney Channel for like letting the theater girl play her part.
Shine.
Aw.
That's so
Anyway,
exciting.
and it's been an amazing experience.
So you're starring with Cozy Zulsdorf.
Yes.
And she's, I think, 19, is that right?
She's
In-
about to
in
turn
real
20
life.
on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Happy
almost
birthday,
20.
Cozy.
Happy birthday,
Fun.
Cozy.
But she plays a 16-year-old in
Yes.
the show. I mean, in the movie. I gotta say
It's a-
movie. I
it's a
keep on saying
movie.
show.
I know. I had to get used to that too. But now I'm a movie star, so I know how to say things.
I do want your autograph after this is over.
We'll see.
So what are you
We'll see.
learning from your teenage counterpart here?
Everything.
Because I feel like it's a different like situation than when we were
Oh,
19.
please.
Because like there were no smartphones when I was 19, for example.
No, I mean
Or
I'm not
just
much
phones.
older than 19, so you know. It
That's
was a
true. You're
acting
really
stretch for
stretching
me.
here, yeah.
I know. It's
I
some of my
appreciate that about you.
best, hardest work. But I mean, I learned so much from Cozy, of course, how to be a teenager. But also, that kid has been doing movies since she was 10.
Right. Yes.
She did the Dolphin Tale movies. She's been on Disney Channel doing all kinds of stuff. So she's sort of like a veteran. So she was like,
She's
"Hey,
used to the
Heidi,
camera.
Cigarette.
I have a couple of tips for you." She's you know an old battle axe. No, she's not. She's like as fresh as a daisy. I look at her sometimes and I'm like, if a woman, if a rabbit were a woman, she's just so adorable. You just wait till you see her. She's absolutely gorgeous. But she also has mad skills. And often when I was trying to figure out how to act for the camera,
Like tone it down, Heidi. Dial it
click
back.
it down, Belter. I would look to Cozy and just sort of meet her where she was because she really knows what she's doing. And
Plus, you had to embody a teenager.
right,
You
and
have
there was that
teenagers in your
part
life,
too.
though.
I have 2 teenage stepsons who are extraordinary young men, but they are also teenagers. And
Is that code for like gross?
I will never call them gross.
I appreciate that.
No, they're not gross. You should have seen them at the premiere. They shined up really
Oh, I like
quite
that. That's
nicely.
nice. That's very respectful.
No, they're lovely.
but they
young
know
gentlemen.
they know the lingo. They know the lay of the
Of
land.
course they do, and like they know the smartphones, and you know they whatever.
The
They're very
hashtags and all that.
All of it. They're very typical teenagers, and there is occasional, kind of well-deserved eye rolling in our house from time to time.
Sure.
But
Both
yeah,
ways, I'm sure.
Yep, sure, of course. But I definitely had to get into the mind of a 16-year-old, which was
What
really
did you
fun.
learn? Tell us everything.
Mostly, it really was just very liberating, you know, because I think I'm wound pretty tight in my life, as is the adult character that I play for like 5 seconds. Most of the movie, I'm the kid.
Right.
And I play Catherine only for about, I don't know, 6% of the movie. But I really had to like get in there, get inside of that teenager inside me, which P.S., when I was a teenager, I was still wound really tight. So Ellie was like a total
You had a
complete-
briefcase, didn't you?
I was like Alex P. Keaton. Exactly. Not quite. But I was like.
But the
you know,
physicality of it must be something you have to work on.
For sure. Of course. I mean, there is not the same kind of, as adults, especially women, we like hold ourselves in a certain way and we walk the world like knowing we're being looked at. And
Women with a purpose.
yes, that's right. And Catherine certainly is. She's very together. She has her own business. She's under a lot of pressure. And Ellie is the opposite. And so there was a lot of softening of the spine, taking up a lot of space on the couch, perhaps chewing with my mouth open.
Lovely.
Excellent
I
eye
can't
rolling.
wait to see the whole movie.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. But the one thing that I wasn't anticipating was our director, Steve Carr, who was so much fun to work with, and he and I really clicked. By the end of it, after he and I had really like gained a whole lot of trust and we knew how the other one worked, there was an extraordinary amount of improvising.
Oh, fun.
And I'm such a huge fan of Maya Rudolph and Tina Fey and Kristen Wiig, and he sort of set me free to just go for it. And the great thing about doing a movie is if you blow a take, you get another one, and which is not
That's
how it is
new for
in
you.
theater.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, it was funny because I would always come to set and I was like 100% prepared and I'm going to nail it on number
Off book,
one.
yes.
Nailing it in number one, Blickenstaff. And like, they were like, babe, not even close. We're going to do this 40 times. And I was like, oh. And eventually I was like, thank God we're going to do it 40 times because you
can
like,
play.
you get in a groove. And I learned so much, and the improvising was so much fun, and a lot of it made it into the movie.
You're not going to leave us and just go to Hollywood, are you? I feel like you
Yes.
are. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been fun, you guys.
been
but
really- Thanks for
I'm-
stopping by one more time.
I'm turning in my car. No, never. Of course. Like, my heart and soul always belongs in this town.
Now, will Freaky Friday ever come to Broadway? Please?
Yes. No, I've
You
no
don't know.
information for you. I don't know. I mean, the thing that
But they will, but Terry Hatcher will be in it. I can see it now.
she would be amazing. I think she can
She
sing.
can sing. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's done. It's all done. It's a beautiful
ready.
2-act musical. And, you never know about things. I think this movie being out in the world is certainly going to, make people interested in it again.
Oh, it's going to go everywhere. That's
everywhere. World domination. That's what I'm hoping
That's
for.
fun. It's going to be a freaky, freaky world.
Yes,
Yes.
if only.
All right, I want to talk to you more, but I can't deny you all your questions. So I'm going to
I like
take
this
some of the
part.
questions from Facebook Live viewers.
Yes,
Thank you for
please.
watching.
Okay, so what was the part you're most looking forward from the musical to be seen in the movie?
Oh.
What do you want to share with the world?
Yeah.
Here's something that really made me cry when we filmed it in a good way. Made me cry in a good way. In the theatrical version, the opening number is filled with all this chaos, and Catherine, my adult counterpart, is planning a wedding, and she's a caterer, and there's so much chaos in her house, and she's managing all of this stuff. And in the theatrical version, I know we always wanted for the ensemble just to be overflowing with dancers and so many people, and if it were ever fully realized as a Broadway show, that would certainly happen. But in our first stage production, it was our pilot production, so things were kind of truncated a little bit. Our cast was a little smaller, but when we did the movie, Disney spares no expense, and
Lots of
it
bodies.
was absolutely thrilling. And literally when I went into the rehearsal room and I was rehearsing with all of these gorgeous, just fabulous young dancers all over this beautiful warehouse where we were rehearsing this huge number, I was so proud that this thing that we built in a small theatrical way, that at the time we only could dream what it would become, it was realized. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was very moved by it, because I felt like we made something in the theater that is now going to be pervasive to millions of
That's
people.
awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, it was great.
Yeah, that kind of is like this question. It's like, because you originated this character from the first theater. So what has that been like, seeing it go from, being a smaller touring
Yeah.
production to now being on Disney Channel? What has that been like?
Very surreal. I'm so proud. I think it's every actor's dream to originate a role. When you put your stamp on something, that's kind of, that's the gold standard. That's what every actor wants. I love replacing too. That's always super fun. But this was really something else when you're in from the beginning. And also with Bridget Carpenter, Tom Kitt, Brian Yorkie.
Right, it's the original
Yeah,
creators are there.
it really was. There was a strange alchemy there. And with Emma Hunton too, it was kind of just sort of a I don't know, lightning sort of struck, and what we all made together was pretty beautiful. And then to have it now go out into the world, not only as the movie, but also there's like a 90-minute theatrical production that kids are going to be able to do in high schools,
And people can listen to the music.
I
and learn
know, and the
music.
cast album and the soundtrack, which are two different things, by the
Yes.
way.
Thank you.
The cast
Just
album
saying.
is the theatrical songs, and the soundtrack is from the movie.
That's the difference.
So
now
just
you
so
know.
we all know, Jeff Bowen would clear everybody up on that too.
Well,
Anyway.
speaking of originating a part, have you seen other versions of Title Show over the years?
Yeah.
Seeing people play Heidi, the character.
Yes, I
What
have.
is that like?
Well, on one hand, I am extremely proud, and I am extremely grateful that something we made is out in the world in the way that it is. And I love the show we made, the fact that I made it with my friends, and it, endures.
And they were at your premiere, which is lovely.
I know, they were
So
all
sweet.
there.
But what is it like to see that?
It's weird. I would be lying if I said that it wasn't weird. I mean,
That's a little more personal, though, than
oh my
like
God.
a character
I mean,
that's not
literally,
based on
it's
you.
like we're playing Heidi, Susan, Jeff, Hunter, Larry. It's like, it's very strange when you have a person. It's not like I invented, I was the first person to play Eliza Doolittle.
Right.
which is very interesting casting. Just think about it. Like, I could play that part. I'm a
Of
little
course,
old.
obviously.
So that ship
No
has
problem.
sailed. But like to watch people play you is definitely a weird experience. So I am always filled with pride, and it's always a little bit like it's a strange experience.
It's a little
for sure.
freaky, isn't it?
It's a freaky experience.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's kind of a fun question. Is what is the favorite wig you've ever worn in a role?
B bottom.
Yes.
Bam. B
Nailed it.
bottom. Yeah, that was an amazing. That I remember kind of having a little bit of trouble figuring out a way in to her. And I knew that she was super strong, and I knew, the writers were so great and had given me so much to work with, but it wasn't until I put that wig on that I was like, got it. Now I am completely informed. And I think Leslie Kritzer, who replaced me, also said the best wig she ever wore was B-bottom. So
many wigs
I feel
though,
you,
that you've
girl.
had. I mean, you have an array.
I do have an array. The Ursula wig was
thought you were gonna say
a
Ursula.
force to be reckoned with in and of itself.
It was like 2 feet tall.
At least, girl, at least. And it took a village to get me into that entire
And a
contraption.
chiropractor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still having those PT appointments for that. No, but that was a fun one too. And Alice Beinecke was really fun, and
Oh, yeah, of course.
I always think I look a little bit like Dorothy Michaels from Tootsie. Just look
Keep
that,
that in
Google
mind.
that,
Google that.
Google
that.
it. Google
I'm
it.
not wrong.
All
I'm
right.
not wrong.
Let's do one more question. I like this one. So you did Little Mermaid, and now you're doing Freaky Friday.
I
What
know.
other Disney movie would you like to see come to Broadway that you could star in?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say I do enjoy playing the bad guy. And I don't know. I mean,
I didn't think you were going to say you wanted to be a princess. I didn't think it was going to come up.
I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed as well too. I could play an evil queen. But I am always interested in playing the bad guy. Maybe some version of. I know there's a version of 101 Dalmatians. I could do
sure.
a little Cruella de Vil.
That'll be a
And
good
I'm a
wig.
huge dog lover. I heard what you guys were saying earlier about that show that all my pals are doing, or that benefit that they're
Humane
doing.
Society,
and I'm
yeah.
available if you'd like me to do that. And if I
Available to
can take
belt. You need a
some
little card you
dogs
can
home
hand
with
out.
me. I know. I will
We'll
belt
belt for
for
dogs.
puppies.
Sure, I'll do that.
I
I'll
love
do
that.
You would be paid a lot. There'd be a lot going on in your house.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's
Amazing.
remind everyone when they can see Freaky Friday on the Disney Channel.
Yes, it's August
10th. That's
Thank
Friday.
you. I've been saying so many different dates.
At
lately.
8 o'clock
It's
Eastern
at 8
Standard
o'clock,
Time.
Yes, and it's I think it's going to be a really special night. Yeah.
We're so happy that you're
Thanks.
doing this. And
Thanks. I can't
you
believe
guys
it.
have got to see this movie.
It's
I'm
really
excited.
good. I promise. I've seen it three
She's seen it
times,
3 times.
and it's really good. And all my friends saw it the other night, and they were like, "It's really good."
And they weren't lying.
They
weren't
were not
lying.
lying.
You could tell
They wouldn't
they
lie to
were.
me. I could tell. I could tell.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, Heidi.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Caitlin, take us out, please.
Sure thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to all of our past interviews by going to wherever you listen to podcasts, typing in #live@5, and hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one. And you can listen to this one over and over and over again, because why wouldn't you? Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk to Elsie Fisher from the hit new movie 8th Grade.